Water is life and we need to save it, conserve it, please don't waste it. Use it when it's necessary for cooking, drinking and beating the heat.
Hi there to you. The Guyana Water Incorporated is currently embarking on a number of improvements across Guyana to provide more quality water service to all customers. This is going to be our focus for this broadcast of The Flow, and do remember this is brought to you by the nation's water utility, the Guyana Water Incorporated GWI. We're going to be updating you on everything you need to know about the improvements happening in Guyana's water service, including new water treatment facilities for Region 3 as well as on the east bank of Demerara. To help us understand this better would be our guest, Executive Director of Operations Joseph Codette, and Divisional Managers Orlando Benjamin and Orion Dhanraj. Gentlemen, thank you for being here with us on this program of The Flow. Now, you can't afford to miss this broadcast, so ensure you stay with us as you get new improvements, of course, and updates from the nation's water utility. But first, we'll get a message from the Guyana Water Incorporated.
The gift of nature, yes, it's water. We provide a service so you can enjoy it. So pay your bill and responsibly. Easy payment, make it a priority. Your timely payments will ensure sustainability, yeah.
All right, welcome back to The Flow, and do remember this is brought to you by the Guyana Water Incorporated. And if you're just joining us, we're updating you on GWI's customers on new infrastructure works being executed by the Guyana Water Incorporated to improve the quality of service provided to our customers. Now, many of our viewers would have heard about all the hard work that goes into the treatment and distribution of water for our consumers countrywide. The Operations Department makes this possible along with a lengthy list of other responsibilities. Mr. Codette, he is the first person we're going to start off with, and he is going to give to us an overview of the role of the Operations Department at GWI. So once again, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to share with us here on today's program of The Flow. And as I mentioned before, we are also going to be discussing some of the improvements happening at GWI. The company will be constructing a state-of-the-art water treatment facility at Iflat, that's in Region Number 3, through the Water Supply and Sanitation Infrastructure Improvement Program, WSSIIP, and that is funded by the Government of Guyana, the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB, and the Caribbean Investment Facility, CIF. Also, that is a part of the European Union. Now, Orlando is going to provide to us details on that, and then we're going to talk more about how through the WSSIIP, GWI will be constructing a new water treatment facility to serve customers from Diamond to Herstelling, and that's where Orion will come in. So let's go back, and let's go now to Mr. Codette, who's going to be talking to us about the Operations Department.
Thank you very much, Ms. McRae. First of all, let me say that we in the Operation Department tasked to manage, maintain, and monitor the most important assets of the company. That's our boreholes and treatment plants. Mm-hmm. We're having 125 boreholes as wells, stretching from Molson Creek straight through to Bartica, Linden, the Azuqueba Coast, Lego and Wikenham. Along with that, we are also responsible for the sewage in Georgetown.
Okay.
We are having 25 treatment plants. Also along the coast of Guyana, we're not responsible for the interior, the Operation Department. And we are also responsible for distribution and transmission means up to the customer boundary line. In the water utility terms, you will see from the well to the top. That's everything included there, all right? Mm-hmm. And that's our main responsibility in the Operation Department.
Okay, so that means you have a big team and you're moving a lot.
Yeah, we're having 8 divisional offices in the regions, but we turned out division, starting from Bobis, which is Region 6, is Division 5, Region 5 is 4, and it goes on like that.
Okay, and one of the other reasons for having you here and for you to explain the operations department also, because many times people think when they call GWI, with the drop of a hat something is going to happen, but it doesn't work like that, because of course that information will have to be filtered from the office to your team, and then you'd have to look at the area, and then of course you'll be able to dispatch and deploy. So it doesn't happen just like that. Oh, my main it's leaking, or oh, I got cut off today, and then automatically it's going to be fixed.
No, let me just go back to that. We have a system that we use in where customers' complaints are being registered, and that's being printed out every morning.
Okay.
And the crew will use that to go out. We also have a call-in system where if customers see any leaks anywhere, to inform us, and we would react to those. Our team within the divisions are out in the fields. So if you call the office knows how to get onto those teams. Right? And depend on the magnitude of that leakage, then we'll have to prioritize.
Okay.
Right? So what you'll find there, if your source connection is leaking, for instance, right? We try as much as possible to get it fixed the very day. Right, the very day. If not, then we return the following day to fix it. It depends on where the crew is at that time of the day.
All right, so helping us to understand the operations department there, Joseph Codette. Now let's keep things moving. Now earlier we spoke to you about some improvements to take place at IFLOT in Region 3. State of the art. When I hear state of the art, I'm thinking fancy technology, things happening with the flip of a switch. And to tell us a little bit more about this state-of-the-art water treatment facility at IFLOT in Region 3, and this is happening through the Water Supply and Sanitation Infrastructure Improvement Program, which I told you earlier is funded by a number of organizations, including the government of Guyana. We will hear from Orlando. So, Orlando, give to us some details.
First of all, thank you for having me on the show.
No problem.
First of all, let me give you a brief overview of the division in general.
Okay.
The division has currently 24 production centers. It stretches from free and easy to Namless.
Okay.
Within those production centers, 24 or well stations, there are 3 treatment plants currently, serving a population of 42% of the households within the database on the West Coast. The 3 treatment plants are Port Giant, Fellowship, and Virgin Ocean. Now, there's a gap of raw water being fed to customers within Fellowship and Virgin Ocean.
Okay.
That's where the new treatment plant at IFLOT comes in. The IFLOT new treatment plant was conceptualized and will be building next year, commencing January 2016, to facilitate this gap in this raw water area. So we'll be serving from Decandron to CI, or CI to Decandron within this area. This new treatment plant, of course, it will reach the WHO standard. There are a number of pointers you have to reach there with the WHO, and currently in the program there's also one aspect for metering and NRW. This new treatment plant would be producing 10 million waters, 10 meg liter per daily production. And within this serving area, CI, Cornida to Decandron, there would also be full meter. The area would be fully metered. In addition, there would be a water, the sewage aspect. Septic tanks would be approximately 1,000 would be constructed within this area prescribed mentioned earlier, to better help with the sanitation,
Okay,
the
so
sewage sanitation in the
let's
area.
pause a little bit there in terms of, because I know it's not just water supply. You guys are also playing a big role in terms of sewage.
Yeah.
So these septic tanks, through the funding you're getting from the IDB,
Yes, it's
and
all within the program area.
so you're gonna be going to homes.
Yeah, selected.
Okay, selected homes that really
Yeah.
need.
Yeah, really
us-
need, yeah.
Okay, all right. So that's a big plan there.
Yeah.
And how soon can we see works for that commencing?
Actually, the tenders were already out. The bids have been collected and they are currently under review.
Okay.
And it's supposed to start, or it will commence January and last a period of approximately 27 months.
Wow.
The septic aspect, tank building aspect of that would last approximately 18 months.
Okay. All right, so we're seeing a lot of things in the pipeline, and we're also hearing about some future plans for the Ghana Water Incorporated, and we do hope that you'll continue to follow the news, follow whatever other forms of media that the Water Incorporated is going to be using to keep you updated, and we do hope also that when these plans, they come to fruition, that you will do your part to preserve them. So let's learn a little bit more now about how GWI, through the WSSIIP that we just heard from Orlando about, will be constructing a new water treatment facility to serve customers from Diamond to Herstelling. So we're moving now. We were on the west side. We're now coming to the east bank of Demerara, Diamond to Herstelling, and Orion. I know that's pretty exciting news because there are more and more people moving to the east bank of Demerara due to the opening of housing areas, of course, the allocation of land and so on. So tell us a little bit about that.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
As it relates to the East Bank, the division starts at Eccles, finishes at Yarcabro, and extends to Timiri as well.
Okay.
The new water treatment plant at Diamond will cater for customers from Moko to Caneville. Like what is going to be happening at IFLOT on the west bank, on the west coast, sorry, they will be metering, 100% metering in the areas.
Okay.
We are doing transmission and distribution upgrade. We would also be constructing 1,000 septic tanks within the metering area. Within the project
Program
area
area.
for maybe we could say less vulnerable or unfortunate
Okay.
persons. The selection criteria would be that we go around and we visit, and we would make that assessment from actually visiting the customers.
Okay.
As it relates to water quality, the treatment plant in Diamond, that is our main aim, to actually bridge the gap from Herstelling to Diamond. Diamond, as it is, they have raw water being fed to customers, or being distributed to the customers in Diamond. We also have Moko. As you mentioned, the expansion on the East Bank is tremendous.
Yeah.
We will have to cater for Farm, Covent Garden, Little Diamond, as well as the new scheme in Herstelling. Right now, we are projecting about 5,000 new customers on the East Bank, and that's between Herstelling, or between Eccles and Diamond, for the next 5 years.
Okay.
So the treatment facility at Diamond would cater for Herstelling to Diamond, Caneville included, and also Moko.
All right, and that also means, like you said earlier, not only better quality, but they're going to get a better surface in terms of the pressure of water, the hours of water too. That can also be improved now, because instead of having one station feed all of those areas, now you're breaking it down. So good things happening there with the Ghana Water Incorporated. We learned that GWI recently rehabilitated the Good Hope well. Now tell me, how did this impact customers? Because it might be a good thing to you, but let's hear about the customers. How did they benefit from this?
Well, I must say the feedback I've got as recent, like yesterday, they have welcomed the rehab of that well site, and they're asking for it to be continued.
Okay.
At present, we don't have a GPS service here, so we run a generator. That comes with a heavy cost later. So we are in negotiation with GPL at the moment to see if we could get those transformers installed, and then we will be running that station. However, it's not an ongoing program. We have to bring back decommissioned wells.
Okay.
It's the last resort, I must say, we look at. What we normally do is, if the area is, we look at supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
If we realize that the supply that we're giving to our customers cannot reach the demand, and then there might be reasons for that, wastage, leakage, but we monitor that. We have loggers that we put on the system. We have DMAs that we will get data from, and we analyze those data. And based on the result, then we'll make a decision whether we send in a leakage team to map up the leaks, to improve the level of service. And if that's not so, then we will look at alternative. If there's a well that we decommissioned some time back, and that's the last resort. But it's not a program to bring back those wells into operation. I must also use this opportunity to go back a little on the sewage department.
Okay.
As you know, we control the sewage within Georgetown. We have 25 plus new stations. We did work on the force main. But we facing an uphill battle in getting our customers around Georgetown to understand the usage of the sewage system.
Okay.
Right? Very often you get calls of backup sewage overflow, and it's because of customers not treating the system or using the system as should. Right? You got these building materials, people building, they fill up these manholes, cover it up back. The next 2-3 days, a month after then, it doesn't affect that person per se, because the design of those sewage systems is 2-3 yards linked to one.
Okay.
So you might find the last person start getting a bill up, and then we have to go investigate and try to clean, and sometimes it takes us days, weeks to get exactly to where or the cause of that blockage. So I want to appeal to our customers, sewage customers around Georgetown, to use the system as is, as it's supposed to be used, and don't, mishandle it.
All right, Mr. Codette. I know you said it's not a plan to just go and spruce up all the other old wells, but any immediate plans, and can you share with me what area you plan next, if there are any plans to resuscitate any old well stations?
Well, based on the data that we're receiving, we have a level service map. I should have worked with one that show you, as per region, as you say, division, what's the level of service flow pressure within the divisions. And sadly to say, the worst of it all is Benjamin's area,
Okay.
Region 3, Division 2. Because of the expansion of housing schemes out there, and some of the wells are not really producing as should. Right? We have a massive plan to do some rehab works on those wells. Right? This is how best we could bring back those wells to produce a supply that will reach the demand out there. For the rest of the divisions or regions, they're pretty okay. We have some well problem also in Bobis, but we have contracts to bring back 2 new wells there.
Okay.
It's not bringing back old wells. On the East Coast also, we have new wells to commission. There's 1 new well to be drilled on the East Coast. On the East Bank, there are 2 new wells. One is commissioned already, one is to be commissioned, and there comes the new treatment plant. Right, so the level of service within those areas would improve. To go along with that also, what we have is the metering program. we're concentrating at present at all the treatment plant areas because the cost of managing and operating a treatment plant is very high. Right? Very, very high. Our operation costs about 70%, 75% of our overall budget.
Okay.
Right? And if we don't meet the customers, not to suppress demand, but to ensure that people use the water, with some kind of responsibility, not washing your cars, washing down your concrete, watering plants. And if we could kind of conserve and waste and conserve and don't waste the water, and call in to us if you have a leak, there's something else I need to go on. Damaging of our infrastructure, right? We have our colleagues like GPL, GTNT, plant posts, pipes damaged, nobody calling, area out of water for a few days, and then we go hunting why it's caused, and then we find out the pipe get damaged, right? So I would appeal to our colleagues, let us know if there's a damaged pipe and we go fix it immediately. Only last week something like that happened twice within one area, So those are the challenges, some of the challenges that we face in the operation department. But we work 24/7 to make sure that our customers are well satisfied and pay up the bill.
And that's good to hear, very reassuring. But not only our sister agencies, but also persons too, doing construction, cutting grass and that sort of thing. That too can damage the infrastructure of the Ghana Water Incorporated. All right, let's turn our attention now again to Orlando. Earlier you shared with us some plans for Region Number 3, and Mr. Codette just mentioning some hiccups with your area. So what other improvements can persons of Region 3 expect? Can they anticipate?
All right, yeah. As the director mentioned earlier, the production centers, some of them, we have some technical difficulty which we are working to overcome.
Okay.
However, in addition to what customers can look forward to is timely billing. We are working timely billing, meter reading, timely, so we can deliver the bill so customers can pay on time. And we are moving to monthly billing. So instead of receiving your bill quarterly, you'll have monthly billing, whereby just a tiny fraction of the overall cost would be issued. So it's a more wallet-friendly, put it that way, approach. In addition to that, with the main concerns, the production centers over in Division 2, there will be a new well in 2016. It's already on the budget, and approval has already been given for Virgin area. So the far off villages that Virgin treatment plant serves, example Namles, St. Lawrence, Present Hope, who receives low level of service currently, that with this intervention, that would eliminate that part of it.
Okay.
As well as metering, we're looking at metering because what happens? Some customers, as the director mentioned earlier, use the water carelessly, and it's amazing. I mean, how much it costs from the ground to the treatment to the delivery. It's a lot.
True. And looking at what is happening in the rest of the Caribbean, we have a very, very reasonable rate when it comes to our consumption and paying for the water that we use.
Our rates are extremely low as compared to the cost of producing it.
True. All right, Orlando, let's now turn to Orion. What developments, what new good things? Because Christmas is coming around. I'm not saying it's going to happen for Christmas, but at least people can look to the new year knowing that in terms of the water sector, they're going to see some improvements.
As it relates to the East Bank, other than the water treatment plant at Diamond, we are in the process of expanding the Echoes water treatment area, or the Echoes water treatment facility. That would cater for customers in E. Eccles, Republic Gardens, Republic Park, other surrounding areas. What that entails is putting in a new filter, new clarifier, running some transmission lines from one of the well that Mr. Codette would have spoken about is the one in Eccles, in the Eccles area. We have to increase our capacity so that we could actually meet the demand there. As it is, East Bank, as we said before, we are growing at a tremendous pace. So interventions are to be made for us to be able to meet the demand of the customers. As it relates to other areas on the East Bank, we have made proposals for several areas to get new distribution networks. Friendship Squatting area for one. Dr. Charles scheme at Codette. We have Hillfoot at Sue's Dyke. We have made proposal for the expansion of Yara Cabra and the Sue's Dyke distribution network. We're hoping that those proposals will be approved and work can commence in 2016. As it relates to customers and the billing, what Orlando just said is we are trying to give each customer a bill when the month is up. In that way, you would reduce sometimes the burden on customers. If they aren't receiving bill monthly, let's say every 3 months, their arrears might be so high they can't afford to actually pay all the costs at the time. In terms of the water production, Mr. Codette mentioned that our operations cost is about 70%. The electricity cost for the entire country for GWI is over $200 million a month. One facility, namely Eccles, we pay over $5 million a month for our electricity costs.
Okay then.
So we need to get the bills out on time to the customers so they could come and pay, and we could have monies in to meet our expenditures in terms of our electricity bills, and also to continue development work within the division and in Guyana or in the country as a whole.
So as we wrap things up, quickly let's remind you that a lot of new things are ahead of us in terms of our water sector. We do hope that you're going to support. I know the guys have been talking to you about billing and all of that, but do remember, even if you don't get a bill from the Ghana Water Incorporated for whatever reason, whether it's a mix-up with the postal service, maybe you don't have a mailbox, whatever the case might be, it is still your obligation to check with the office in your area or any other area, probably it's closer to where you work, and ensure that you pay amounts. Every month you can put something down so that way when you do get a bill, it wouldn't be that much and you wouldn't be shocked. So do remember we use it, so we have to pay for it. Like we heard from Mr. Codette and from Orlando and Orion, the amount of work, the amount of things that go into giving us water. And with all the improvements, they surely will need money. So as we wrap up this program of The Flow, let's say thank you once again to our guest executive director of operations, Mr. Joseph Codette, divisional managers Orlando Benjamin and Orion Dhanraj. And if you have any more questions about anything we would have discussed on this show or anything related to our water sector, feel free to call GWI's Customer Services Call Center 227-8701, 227-8703, or 227-8704. You can also email them at pro@gwi.gy. You can also leave queries on GWI's Facebook page at facebook.com/everydropcounts. For more information, you can also check out their website, gwiguyana.com. If you missed any part of this program, feel free also to check out their YouTube channel. You just type in Guyana Water Incorporated into the search bar and their channel will show up, and of course you can go through all of the videos that are posted there. So thank you once again for paying attention to this program of The Flow. Thank you especially from the PR team of the Guyana Water Incorporated, and on behalf of all of us here at NCN, my name is Keane McRae. Take care.